what's up, guys? It's Oscar. Finally back with the Three-Peat podcast again. I'm here with the homie Edwin.
What's good?
Here with the homie Jonathan.
Yo.
And then we got a special guest today. His name is. Go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
I am Pedro, but as others I'm known as Drosif. Drosky.
Dro, fuck they talking about?
My favorite is Alex Carustro. Shout out Juan.
Droge.
Also known as Life with Dro on Instagram.
True.
Follow that.
Give that man a follow. But yeah, so we're here with Pedro. He's a good friend of ours.
He's also my big brother.
Yeah,
so for those who don't know,
he's a big Gomez.
Oldest
Big Gomez
Gomez.
brother, yeah. And we're here just fucking drinking and shit.
No, got some shots.
Drunk. Everybody here is drunk as fuck. Pedro's high as fuck. It's
It's gonna be a good one tonight.
gonna be a messy episode. Just know.
Let's get it. But let's see, Pedro. Let us know a little bit about yourself.
Obviously Pedro. South side of Chicago. My whole life, basically. What else? Photography is one of my favorite things to do. I love sneakers, fashion, like everybody else. That's really all I got for you, man.
True. How did we meet? How did me and you meet, or us? Because I think we met you around the same time.
Honestly, bro, at the end of the day, all I know is that at one point of one of our lives, we all worked at Adidas together.
Oof.
It's a fact.
What a fucking time.
Whether we liked it or not, bro.
What
We're all
a
in the same
fucking
building.
time. How long were you with the brand?
I want to say 4.5 years until I decided that retail was no longer for me.
I feel that.
Obviously, people outgrow things sometimes, and you just want to venture onto newer stuff, right? You feel like you want to set higher goals for yourself. Not that retail isn't a goal, because I think it was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
I met a lot of cool people that we still talk to this day, a lot of really close friends, but it just wasn't for me anymore, right? I just had other things on my mind that I wanted to accomplish, and slowly but surely, we're still getting there. It's all a work in progress, so definitely, yeah, like I said, Adidas wasn't the best of places, but it definitely made a lot of experiences and a lot of memories for me. So definitely appreciate that one for sure.
Yeah, it was a good time, especially. I mean, how you had your own store, right? You were on Rush.
Yeah, so I was basically like a seasonal employee for the winter of 2015 or 16. Honestly, I can't remember. But then I stood on, right? It was pretty cool. It was nice to be asked to stay on and be part of the brand and learn a lot of new things.
Especially around the time that you worked there, because it was like damn near like
Adidas had a lot of hype at
like
that moment,
hype.
you know?
It was damn near all hype around.
I feel
that
like
time.
at one point that was almost everybody's dream job to work for.
No, for sure.
Honestly, yeah. Like I remember being at the store at the Water Tower before the redo and the construction, and people would always come in and be like, "Yo, what can I do to work for the brand?" Or you have some corny motherfuckers talking about, "What can I do to work for the Three Stripes?" type of shit, right? But no, it was cool. It was nice to be a part of something, especially because of the hype that everything that for now we see, right? So what was it, 2016 Boost, or was that 15?
15, 16.
15, 16, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's like, what the hell is this Boost shit? And at first I'm like, it looks like some type of foam, but once you're there and you wear the product, you definitely feel a lot different, and like in your shoes, and your body feels a lot different and whatnot. But obviously we know what Boost was, and we saw what it turned into and what it is till this day. So
For sure.
Yeah.
What was your position while you were working at Adidas?
I was a sales lead, and then eventually a team lead. Shout out JP, can never make it.
Facts.
And then I was a team lead at the Water Tower, and then I got promoted to stockroom team lead at the OG store on Rush at the time. And yeah, I enjoyed every minute of it, right? Like it was cool. Like I was part of like that original Yeezy release, like where people were going crazy, losing their mind when they saw that gray 750, and
Right.
people are like, oh, I just need it, right? Others because they actually fuck with it, or others just because Kanye had it on his foot type of shit, right? But
Right.
yeah.
So you would say it was like one of those things where you worked your way up in the brand.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like it's basically with any corporate job. If we're gonna keep it 100, right?
Right.
You gotta work your way up. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was cool being on the floor, but then it was fun being in the back, behind the scenes where people really didn't see anything, right? So.
And I feel like the stockroom is like the backbone of the business, and I feel like that's a lot of things that a lot of people don't know who don't work in retail.
Like look at the group chat, right? Half those motherfuckers worked in the stockroom, and I think that's how a lot of us just became closer because we saw each other all the time in the back, doing overnights, doing shipment, all that good stuff.
For sure.
And I definitely feel like you mentioned how we have a group chat and shit, like everybody in that bitch worked at Adidas and all that. I feel like that's also something that kind of like kept us there still. Like that's kind of something that like the like managers, like the higher ups and shit used as a way to keep us there. Like all of us there pretty much still working.
Yeah, I mean they didn't like threaten you, be like,
No.
oh well, so and so is here, so you gotta stay, right? But it's just you just create a bond, right? Like a bond not only at a job, but a bond that you create outside of work, which we hung out all the time, a lot of us, right? We would go to events and
The Adi bangers.
Exactly, right? The Adi bangers, the famous Adi banger. But yeah, man, I definitely appreciate the time that I was at Adidas, and I definitely appreciate every single person that I met, whether it was a customer or a friend now or employee.
Yeah, I just think it's crazy. Like all the group chats that we have, it's like 15 to 20 of us in there, and at least all of us have worked at Adidas once, or some of us are still there. You know, so
At least at one
pretty
point we worked there.
Or if they didn't work there, they introduced us to somebody that they knew, and then they just became closer to us. So
100%.
For sure. So now that you're not at Adidas, like what have you been doing ever since you left the brand?
honestly, man, I've been trying to just like find myself, basically. Find like what it is I feel like is my thing in life to do. I don't know. I like to be everywhere, honestly. I love doing photography. I recently started getting into DJing and mixing a little bit just because I've always had a love for music. And yeah, I mean, it's just mainly what I want to do, and just art is another thing that I love. I suck at drawing. I'll be the first to say, but I love art, right? I love that, like, I love the view and different aspects that so many people have. Like, us four can look at one thing and look at it way differently, right? So,
For sure.
Facts.
And you said photographers. So like, what type of photography do you do?
man, so, oops, my bad. I'm always gonna be grateful for Julian because he was the main reason why I wanted to start photography in the first place. I met Julian, I forgot what year it was, but he came to Adidas and I'm like, all right, cool, right? Like, and we just got closer. And with Julian, he always had a camera on him. I'm like, man, like, what's this about?
For sure.
What's to this?
What like exactly? What is to this, right? And one day I remember me and Julian just went to go shooting, and he was shooting portraits, and I'm like, damn, like I love this. I didn't know shit about a camera. I didn't know shit about how to work a camera, but I think, yeah, it's just, I love it. And Julian is probably the main reason why I wanted to shoot. And with that being said, I think one of my favorite types of photography is concert photography. Again, because of Julian, a lot of these concerts were very possible, and again,
Right.
I'm always gonna be forever grateful for that, man.
I would say, how popular was photography in the era that you were shooting? Because I know now it's really, really popular. You see people shooting on film, and like you said, a lot of concerts as well. But I know at your time it was a lot earlier. So tell me a little bit about that.
Honestly, it wasn't as popular. Like you saw people with cameras, but I started really wanting to focus on photography while I was still at Adidas on Rush. And on Rush Street was a big tourist attraction, so you would see
Right.
people with cameras here and there, right? So it wasn't that serious, but I think that obviously as the years progressed, that it got more popular because of social media. Honestly,
Exactly. Yeah.
right? Like everybody was seeing these dope ass pictures that people were taking, and don't get me wrong, I was one of those people. I'm like, damn, like if people can get paid to do this,
100%.
shit, then I'm all for it, right?
Right.
So I was trying to learn my craft, and I know me and Julian would fuck around and be like, oh, we're gonna shoot for so and so one day, but blah blah blah, you know, just talking bullshit like everybody does, right? But at one point, we actually wanted to take it very serious and just really make a career out of it.
Right.
And I feel like we were close. We were very close, especially this year before the COVID, because I'm still pressed about it. But me and Julian were supposed to go see Key Glock and Young Dolph in March, and we were about to get media passes and everything, right? So, and if people really listen to Key Glock and Young Dolph, you know they're like teed up all the time and shit.
Right.
So that concert would have been nuts, not only from like a viewer perspective, but a photographer perspective, right?
Yeah.
Like Key Glock, Dolph, great performers, and so yeah, man. But as of right now, I'm just, again, I feel like I'm just trying to find my thing in life, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I would say just break it down for us real quick. Let us know what's a media pass and what's the process to wanting to shoot a show for those that want to get to that into the future. Like, how do you go about doing something like that?
So honestly, I got really lucky. While working at Adidas, I met my friend, who is now my friend Terrell, who runs this blog called Swagger R Us. They are on Instagram. Give them a follow. Just don't type in any vowels. You'll be all right.
Okay.
But Terrell's very plugged into the music industry, and I always wanted to give him the benefit of doubt, right? Because there's always people who talk a big game and be like, oh, I can get you this, I can get you that.
But they can't back it sometimes.
Exactly, right? So it's like, I just don't want to believe it. So then one day Terrell, I forgot what concert it was. The first concert that he ever got me into was the 30 Days of Red Bull, when the Migos were headliners and Lil Yachty was a special guest.
I was front row for that. I was front row for that.
Everybody in
That
that
was a great
bitch was teed, right?
as
It was
fuck.
crazy.
It was fucking nuts. And it was probably one of the best concerts ever. And for that, I just got a simple media pass. Terrell put in a submission. He had emailed somebody, I don't know who directly, maybe, I think it was Live Nation or Red Bull, one of those big companies, right?
Right.
But obviously they have public relations people and other people that take care of stuff like that. So he got me in, and I was like, all right, cool. And to be honest with you, that was the first time I've ever like shot anything in that in that perspective. Right. Because I was nervous. I'm like, damn, like this is pretty cool. Excuse me.
And the liquor sneaking up.
That's what it is. But yeah, I remember I walked up. It was at the Riviera. I always get these damn venues confused because they're like somehow they're all on the same street.
Yeah, it was Riviera. It was
Riviera,
yeah,
exactly. So yeah, I was there. I pulled up and I'm like, oh, here for a media pass. And bro, like people who work these damn doors, they always trying to give you a hard time because they got some type of power. Be like, all right,
about that.
wait right here, right? I'm like, all right, bro, whatever you got to do, right? So then eventually I got in, and you got to go to will call, and then they got your name on a list. You got to show an ID and be like, oh, here's your credentials. Obviously, different people have different credentials because different people have different plugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
right, exactly, yeah.
You have the people who have like the all access backstage. I wasn't there yet. I was lucky to even get like a simple media pass. And the thing with these media passes, you gotta stick it on you somehow and show security, like, hey, like I'm here, I'm there. Obviously, there's certain privileges with these things.
Right.
So you can't go backstage. You could only shoot the first 3 songs, and then they kick you out of the pit, and then you basically find your own way.
Right.
So that's how it is for each different artist.
But you can still go in a concert type shit, like after you're done with the three songs.
Yeah, so you could either like get in the crowd, or you can just stand to the side, or if they have a balcony, just go to the top or whatever, right?
Okay.
But
Right.
I don't think you'd want to go in the crowd, especially with all this equipment on you.
Exactly.
Right? I got a fat ass book bag on me. I'm like, oh yeah, let me start, right?
So as a photographer, what kind of pressure does it put on you knowing that you only have 3 songs to shoot a dope ass picture?
Like what angles would you look for? Like for example.
I try to get the best lighting possible, right? Like there's a lot of venues that use too much light and use that fucking, what's that one video?
Like the disco shit.
Yeah,
the strobe light.
Yeah, the strobe light.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really help because you're trying to focus. And it also depends on who the performer is, right?
Sure,
Because
energy is different from every
exactly,
performer.
right? Like you'll have people who literally stand in one spot, or you'll have others who just love running around all over stage and obviously interacting with the fans, which is
Exactly,
pretty
yeah,
cool,
it's dope.
right?
Yeah.
But I think you just gotta have your camera on the right setting, right setting, and you gotta have a quick eye and a quick finger, to be honest with you.
So that was your first concert. So then from there, what was the next step? Where'd you go from that?
I got, honestly, after doing that concert, I was so hyped. I was like, damn, like I want to keep doing this until I can definitely get paid for this. So I think.
So you weren't getting paid for those first ones?
Nah,
Okay.
this was a lot of these pictures were for me.
Okay.
For my personal
Right.
collection, right? At that time, I wasn't getting paid. I just wanted the experience.
Exactly, which
Right.
is rare, right?
Yeah, money being paid would be cool, right? But I'm the type of person that knows that if I'm not putting great content out there, I wouldn't want somebody to pay me.
Exactly.
You know, I don't want someone to pay me for bullshit content.
Exactly.
I want.
And you're new to it, so it's not like you're like good at it already.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not
You're
saying
learning
you're
as
bad
you
at
go.
it, but you're just it's a learning experience for you.
Exactly, right? And I loved it. I loved getting that email talking about, hey, so and so's got you on a media pass today. Can you make it? I'm like, oh yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
I remember I would call off work sometimes, or I would try to switch my shift just to get to these concerts, because maybe in my head I was thinking like, you know what? Maybe if I get the right shot at this concert and the right person sees it, we're good, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think the next concert after that was, I want to say the Flatbush Zombies, and that was pretty cool. Like I love their song Palm Trees, Bath Salt, like probably one of my favorite groups. So to be able to shoot them at a small venue was perfect for me, because like I knew that since the stage was going to be so small, that I was going to be so up and close with them. So I was thinking like, you know, I can get some amazing shots, and I did, ones that I was really proud of, right? So, and then after that,
I remember you posting one of those pictures, and it's like his teeth and shit.
Oh, that's the
That-
Migos. Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was pretty
That was
cool.
a dope picture.
no, there was another one. I know which one you're talking
You
about.
know what I'm
It's
talking about, right?
It's the one with Meech.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And the background's like
That bitch
like,
was cold.
Yeah, like he had like his grill.
We gonna put it up right now. We're gonna put it up. We're gonna show y'all.
And I was like, man, like, and I'm not one to be like, oh, I'm gonna post some shit because I want people to comment it and like on it or not. It's because I feel like the pictures that I took at that time, I felt like that was my best shot of that concert or concerts, and I just want to be able to just show people what my eyes looked at that one point in time, right? Because I know a lot of people are big music fans, so if I could share something small like that, then shit, I'm all for it, right?
So do you know when you take a good picture, or is it kind of just like based on your own opinion?
Honestly, man, like, again, with Julian, right? Like, in the middle of the concert, I'd be like, yo, what do you think?
Yeah, like, look at this one real
look
quick,
at this,
right?
right?
Yeah.
And Julian would let me know. He wouldn't bullshit me. So it's
sure.
like, all right, cool.
The best people to have around.
Yeah, so then he's like, you know what? Not that one, but the next two, definitely. I'm like, all right, cool. And that's the first song. And then the next two songs, I'm like, all right, cool. I definitely got to up that one. So, but I think the most fun I ever had at a concert was the Miguel concert when he came into town.
Okay.
That one, I just thought it was gonna be a regular media pass. I got there and they gave me like an all access wristband and a media pass. I'm like, oh shit, like I don't even know how to act right now, right? Because
Yo, feeling brand new.
exactly,
Man,
I've never
bullshit.
had this before, so I'm nervous as hell walking to security, and I'm like, oh shit, he's not gonna let me in. I go like this, all access. He's like, all right, you're good. I got to meet Miguel.
Oh shit.
Probably
Dope.
one of the best experiences ever, right? He started speaking to me in Spanish. Obviously, he's half black, half Mexican,
Right.
and he just thought that I just spoke straight Spanish. I'm like, no, like we're good, right? But yeah, I met his wife. Nice people, man. Really nice people. Probably one of the best performers ever, and probably one of the best shows I've ever been to. And I'm not being biased. I'm just being honest, because to me, as a musical artist, like if you make your presence known while on stage, I'm like, damn, like, and you can like cap the attention of all the audience and the crowd, I feel like you're doing your job as a musician and as an artist and as a performer. So,
Exactly. And not every performer can do that.
Yeah.
Something that a lot of performers lack.
Would you say that's like your favorite like concert experience, or like what do you? What do you think?
Favorite concert experience and just my favorite concert overall.
Like concert you shot. I mean, like
yes,
concert you shot.
Okay.
because Miguel actually liked one of the pictures that I posted.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, and honestly, I never thought that would happen. I'm scrolling, right? I think it was the next day because I got home late that night. So I edited it, I posted it, and then I went to sleep. And then I wake up in the morning, it says Miguel liked your post. Blue little, like with the little blue check mark. I'm like,
Verified.
man, this is one of those fan pages. No, it was Miguel, and I'm like, damn, like this is pretty cool. Like I felt, I don't know, like, I just felt like an enjoyment that I've never felt before.
Right.
I felt like accomplished, right, and it was just nice.
Kind of like that was like the start to like some other shit.
Exactly.
I feel that.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's like a really teed artist that you hope to shoot one day?
Oh man, I don't know.
Teed or like damn near your favorite artist?
Just like your favorite artist.
Yeah, that you want to shoot.
You really want to shoot.
Honestly, man, I would love to shoot Kendrick. Like I think to be able to shoot Kendrick would be pretty cool. Who's another guy, man? There's Currency. Shout out Tony. I think a Currency concert, a Wiz Khalifa concert, you know, just something with a different atmosphere, an atmosphere that where you know motherfuckers are gonna be blowing loud and it's like
smoke in the air.
Exactly. Right? Like I think that shit would be pretty cool.
Oh,
right?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That would be a dope as.
So I feel like we're speaking on like all the good things that come with photography, but I would assume that there's a lot of bad things, or maybe like jealousy within social media. Have you experienced anything like that?
Jealousy, not so much, cause I'm never gonna be like, oh, I'm the shit. Like my pictures are okay, right? Like I've seen some pictures, and I'm like, damn, like those are pretty raw. Like I wish I could do some shit like that. Of course, right? But I think you gotta be able to accept rejection.
Exactly, which is hard from anyone that does anything.
Exactly,
creative.
right? Because I think it was what's that festival that Jay-Z does in Philadelphia? The Made in America concert, right?
Yeah.
And I saw the lineup. I think it was the year that Travis was gonna headline.
Okay.
And I put in a submission. I think I resubmitted like 4 or 5 times, and after the 3rd time, they're like, you know what? Unfortunately, basically told me that they didn't have any more passes because they gave them out or whatever. Right. So it's like, I think you just gotta be able to accept rejection.
Okay.
You can't always expect people to be like, hey, I got you type of shit, right? Because not everybody's gonna be able to do you that favor, and then that's okay, right? But yeah, expect rejection. Know how to take criticism.
Okay.
Right? Like I feel like if someone's trying to help you, obviously take that, go with it however you want, right?
And grow with it. Don't take it in a negative way.
Yeah, of course. I think nowadays people just confuse a lot of criticism for just bullshit talking or trying to talk down on somebody, and I don't think that's okay. I feel like just as human beings, you got to let people help you out here and there, just because someone may know something that you don't, or vice versa, and you can help each other out.
Exactly. That's dope.
Yeah. Sucks that this Rona shit happened, because like you said, you're about to fucking damn near take off with those dudes. Shit's crazy.
Yeah, man. And I like, if you saw all the lineups, especially like the rumored lineups for Lala, I think that shit would have been cool as fuck to shoot too, right?
That would have been wild.
Yeah, like I heard Future, I saw Drake, I saw
wasn't Kid Cudi supposed to
Kid Cudi, like and at that point, yeah, it'd be cool. Like like I'd be like, yeah, all right, let's get these first 3 songs, get them out the way so I can enjoy this shit, right? But yeah, I feel like this year was a big year for a lot of artists, especially artists who put out albums. Like they couldn't really tour how they really wanted to, and they had to be pushed back. So, but honestly, everybody bounces back. Everybody's gonna bounce back from this. So
right now that there's no, like, obviously no concerts, you can't photograph concerts and stuff like that. What's something that you've been doing during this time right now?
Honestly, man, a lot of film photography.
Okay.
I love how it looks, honestly. I'm not gonna sit here and speak on it like, oh, like I'm like an expert.
Like, you know everything. Yeah,
I have 2 small ass cameras that I found at the thrift store for $20 each, right?
Nice.
And I learned how to put the film in it. I learned that it needed batteries, and I learned that I can shoot with it.
Is it like a point and shoot?
Yes, they're both point and shoots. This one, the Canon, I actually snuck it in to the Action Bronson concert that he had for free here, sponsored by Goose Island a while ago. And those were the first shots that I ever took film photography, right? So, and they came out pretty decent. I was actually pretty proud of those. But damn, that's the liquor.
Back up.
But after that, I just felt like, you know what, like point and shoot. And I think on the Nikon, you can actually focus. There's an option where you can focus, and there's a lot like. I love shooting like just portraits. Like I love shooting faces, right? Especially in film, because I feel like with that little grainy look, just
It gives it some character. to the
exactly
picture.
right. A little bit of contrast, a little bit of character, right? So, but yeah, definitely film's been keeping me busy a little bit, and I don't shoot product. I'm not gonna pretend to do that.
Okay.
Shout out Jason, the man does it all, right? So I know he can do that, but me, I don't shoot product. I've shot a little bit of product shots here and there, but nothing major.
What's the I know you had told us that you wanted to like start working on a book or something like that. Tell us about that.
And are we gonna have enough time for that though?
Yeah, I think we will.
Yeah, honestly, man, this book, I've been talking about it for years. Like, I have a lot of books at home, and my favorite one is this cause book that I just bought. And it's more like an editorial than anything than a book, right? So it basically shows like all the pieces that he has around the world, all the projects that he's worked on, all the collabs he's ever done.
Okay.
And it's like, damn, like, that's pretty cool. It's a hardcover book. It's like 200 and something pages, a lot of color. And one day I just woke up and I'm like, you know what? I want to do something like that, because I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty dope to walk into a store or a coffee shop or anything with a small chill setting, and you see a table full of books and someone just happens to pick up a book, and it's like, damn, like that'd be pretty dope. Like that's one of my goals for me, right? To sell something that I'm proud of, but something also that my friends are proud of, that hopefully they would buy from me and definitely support what I'm trying to do, right?
Right.
But it's just basically a collection of film photography, and it's gonna be a lot of faces, right? A lot of faces. And for example, like we have, like, let's say Darius Aloha, right? Like I wanna be able to shoot his face on a blank surface, and then take a couple shots of him of doing like behind the scenes type of shit that people don't see, right? Like the clothing, the shoes with the loafers, the decks, them skating, and like just portray different people in this book, right?
So every person will have like a couple pages to themselves.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Something like that, right?
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
Because I want to make it like a Chicago type of thing.
Right.
That way, people who hopefully will buy it in like other states and countries be like, oh, so this is what Chicago people do, right? Or this is what Chicago people look like, or this is what Chicago people do on their off time, or this is what Chicago people just love in general, like what they love to do.
I think that's a real dope concept.
So, and then also like, I think I want to do like a little bit like interviews on some. Like I feel like,
so add some text in there.
yeah. So a couple, a couple pages with some text, but I want it mainly to be photography. Mm-hmm. It's like if you guys saw that Gunnar Stahl video that not video, but book that he made, the pink one,
that's a great book,
something like that, right? I think like I said before, like us four can look at one of those pictures at the same time, and all four of us can have a different idea of what he's trying to tell us.
To us and everything, right?
Yeah.
Dope.
That's a dope ass concept, no cap. And I've low-key been getting into like those kind of books a little bit more, and I've just been trying to see which ones to buy and shit. But bro, that would be a dope ass fucking like your book definitely would fucking buy. I'm sure a lot of us would buy, and shit just have it like on the cover at the crib and shit. Just have it there.
We're gonna have that shit on pre-order. Fuck you talking.
No cap, I swear the fuck I will.
Don't have a little Starbucks next to him, flipping through that joint, right?
Flipping it in the morning and shit.
Didn't even brush his teeth yet. All right, Pedro. So you have your foot in the door as far as the photography industry. So my last question for you would be, what advice would you give to someone who's barely getting into photography, wants to start up, wants to do something with shooting concerts, or just wants to do it for the fuck of it? What's advice that you would give to that person?
I guess do it for the right reasons. I feel like people just want to follow trends sometimes and just be like, let me spend $500 on a camera and not really use it. Do it for the right reason, man. Like if your heart is in it, cool. If you want to try something new and maybe see where it goes, cool. But just don't follow the wrong trend, I guess. But just be persistent with it. Know how to take criticism, like I said before, and know how to accept rejection because you're not always gonna be able to go to every show possible. Your favorite artist might be in town and you wanna, shoot them, but don't put your hopes so high. Just be able to comprehend that not everything's gonna be possible, and just to have fun with it. Honestly, like experience it and really learn your craft. Honestly, I feel like to this day I can still learn a few things. I'm not the best shooter out there, but I try. But I think I just have fun with it, honestly, right? Obviously, I don't get paid for it, so I'm not gonna take it as serious. But just have fun with it, see where you can go with it, and play around with it, honestly.
For sure.
Can I say something real quick?
No.
Nah, Pedro, this is like I'm me being your little brother. I'm just happy and like really proud of you. Like I know we don't really hear that a lot from our parents because they don't really know the shit that we're doing, but I'm just happy that and proud of you that you're doing something that you love and you're doing something out of your own heart and like you're doing something that like you're really passionate about because some people can't do that, like some people just work a 9 to 5 and that's all they can really do because they don't really have the drive to do something else, but I really mean this when I say I'm really proud like that you're doing something that you love putting out there in the world and that you're proud of doing because it's like I said, like not many people like can really do that, so not to be on some soft shit, but
No, definitely. I feel just one last thing on that. I feel like, like I said, we've all worked at Adidas before at one point of our lives. And like I said before that I've met a lot of great people, right? People who I don't only consider my friends, but just people who I definitely look up to, even though they may be younger than me, look up to even though they may be older than me. But I feel like being at Adidas really showed me who you guys are, right? Like I see like what you guys are interested in, what you guys love to do, and I think that's great. Like it's really nice to just, I guess, be like not the father figure, but like the older brother figure, and just watching you guys do stuff, right? Like you guys are doing this, David with his little awkward age, and so on and so forth, right? Like we may not all have it all figured out right now, but I feel like we're all like creative in our own way where
We're all doing something.
Exactly, right? We're all gonna just pop off one day and be like, damn, like remember when we used to struggle with this and that shit, right? But
Exactly.
yeah, it's definitely nice to see you guys just growing up and just using your platforms however you can, and definitely proud of you guys. And whoever's listening, I know a lot of you guys hopefully will be listening. Proud of everybody. It's nice to come together and just talk about some stuff and just seeing everybody grow. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, like I think for like a lack of better words, it just takes a lot of balls to be able to present yourself on a platform knowing that you're going to get a lot of support, but you're going to get a lot of hate too. There's going to be a lot of people hating on you and etc. But like as long as you're doing your thing, and you're being passionate about it, like fuck it, We're trying to make something out of it, so that's all that matters.
Yes, sir.
Real shit.
Big facts. So, you said that you were also into streetwear, all that we're into.
Shoes, music.
Yeah, shoes, music, all that. We've talked about this before, like us in a different episode. But what's kind of like, what do you think the shoe that got you into collecting or like just loving shoes?
Streetwear in general, like the whole culture.
Honestly, man, like the first time I was ever interested in a shoe was going to be when I was in college, and the LeBron 9, the South Beach colorway came out.
Okay.
And I thought, I was like, oh, I'm gonna walk into a Foot Locker and be like, I got these. Nah, bro, they literally were like, you must be new because these were exclusive, and all the little terms that we hear nowadays, right? So it's
Yeah,
like,
right.
I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? It's a pair of shoes. So then I would do like research here and there. It got to the point where like I bought a pair of foams, the electric, the yellow ones, right?
Okay, yeah.
And I thought I was doing it in college and shit, right?
Yeah.
And then I realized that those motherfuckers hurt. They're just very
Not
stiff at the
comfortable
touch.
as fuck at all.
Not comfortable at all. And I'm like, man, like, fuck that. So I think after that, I went through like a little era or like a little phase of like just wearing Vans. Like that was the thing during my time. And I got them like in all colorways. Like I was cleaning downstairs the other day and I found a box of just beat up ass bands. I'm like, bro, like this was what I used to wear, right? But then obviously as the years pass and you start to learn a lot more about like shoes, clothes, whatever it may be, I think the next shoe that really interested me was I think it was the Jordan 4, the Bread. I think I saw it somewhere, or I think I saw it on somebody, and I just wanted to know all I can about it, right? Obviously the history of the shoe and whatnot, and it just looks really good on feet. Like I love the shoe. Probably one of my favorite pairs ever.
Love Force.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I see my man's got the Union 4s right here, but hey, little flex.
Some slight.
Hey, Oscar, let me hold the fin, bro. Let me hold the fin.
Nah, I barely popped them out. Like I had them in the closet and shit, and I was like, I might hold them, see if like I could flip them later, but I just like kept on seeing images and shit, and I'm like, man, like I just gotta wear these shits already, and I'm like, I want to sell like other shoes in order to keep this pair, just because like I don't know, I feel like whenever I keep a pair of shoes or like I buy a pair of shoes, I had to get rid of another pair, just so I'm not like always spending money and shit.
Right.
But
no, it makes sense.
Had to fucking wear these sometime soon.
So Pedro, I would say us kind of like in the sneaker culture right now, I would say a big thing for us is Instagram, stuff like that, you know, seeing shoes on social media. But I think when you were growing up, you know, like social media wasn't like the biggest thing. So where would you get your influence from as far as like style, what shoes to get, all that?
Honest, man, as a little kid, I would always remember my dad buying me Jordans every Saturday or whenever they release, right? And that was before Jason and Jonathan were born. So I had everything. So then when Jason and Jonathan came along, we had to cut down a little bit and go to the local Payless, and we'd walk out. And we'd all walk out with the little shoes with the 3 Velcro straps and the lights at the bottom, right? Yep. And if you said as a Hispanic that you've never done that, you're a liar, because everybody has done it.
That's cap.
Your mom was talking about some a ver, córrele.
Yeah. Down the aisle and back and shit. Yeah. But yeah, growing up, I was never really crazy about sneakers, right? Like me growing up, elementary school, you had your pair that you would wear every day. You remember your pair that you would take for gym class.
Okay.
And I remember growing up, like around 7th and 8th grade, Foot Locker would have the Reebok, the classic with the strap, the low.
Yeah.
I think 2 for like $70. And I'm like, man, fuck it. I want those. And and I'm really ashamed to say this, but I was part of the era that wore rubber bands around their pant leg.
That's a scary sight.
Like little gangbangers and shit, with your big ass white tee, your school pants, rubber band up, and your sneakers, right? And the shoe just had to be black. Your everyday shoe just had to be black.
Right.
So I remember, and then 7th and 8th grade, in 8th grade, same thing. My mom was like, did you really like those? I'm like, yeah, you know what? I like those. And I think I ended up getting 2 black pairs and 1 white pair. So I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, and then into high school, wasn't really into sneakers, honestly. I was more into just like sports and my education at the time. And I think when I really started caring about like what I had on my feet or what I had on my body was around like sophomore or even junior year of college, right? Because I was more exposed to it because of how the like social media was just blowing up at the time.
Okay, yeah.
So then that's when I was obviously more into sports, and then social media kept growing, Instagram kept growing, and if you follow the certain people, like the right people on at the app at the time, you would see, I think like Nice Kicks was one of like the first pages I followed. Yeah. Whatever little ass page that had shoes, right? And that's how I got started with that LeBron 9. I'm like, all right, I want it. So then ever since then, I remember on Facebook, what was that, Cream? That group? Yeah. That's where I would learn a lot about sneakers and prices and reselling and how fucking bogus people were and how fake people were. So I was like, yeah, exactly, right? So that's when I started learning more about just sneakers in general. But I remember I went through a little phase where every time I got paid, I had to buy a pair of shoes, and I don't care what it was, but obviously things change and it's not like that anymore, right?
Which is crazy, because before we had to use a Facebook group, where now like anyone can go on like on StockX or like go and like it's like right after. But like back then you had to make a post and be like, I'm looking for this shoe in this size, and sometimes people had it and sometimes people didn't.
Yeah, people would be like, oh, long shot.
You didn't, right?
Yeah,
literally.
People would be like, oh, it's a long shot, but I'm trying to trade this shoe for that shoe, or like, and I definitely can. I remember that like the Nike basketball era, bro. Like the
era.
South Beaches that he was talking about, like crazy fucking era. The bronze, the
KD
KDs,
pearls,
yep.
when they came out.
The KDs, what the Kobe's.
Not
what the
only that,
LeBrons.
but if you remember, like all of LeBron's player exclusives in Miami were the shit. And then what was it? The 10, I think. How crazy that was, right?
The Watch the Throne. I remember when those
exactly.
came out. It was crazy.
The Arnold Palmers, the Lows, you know.
And-
And then I started paying attention. I'm like, all right, so obviously certain players have certain shoes, and it just comes to you, honestly. And then while working at Adidas, when I was in school, I learned a lot more about shoes in general. Yeah, I learned what Boost was, and then it was 2015 actually that I remember that we had the black 350 in store.
Pirate Black.
The Pirate Black, exactly. See, so many have come out, I don't even know names anymore.
Right.
But and I remember like just Adidas was popping, like crazily popping, like holy shit, man. Like everybody wanted a pair of something Adidas, whatever it was. And at the time that shit was hot. It was really hot.
The rush days.
Yeah. Like the releases through the app, it was hot. And again, I'm pretty sure we've all owned a pair some way, somehow, right? And everybody saw the craze, how it was and whatnot.
Right.
And then not only after Kanye, here comes Pharrell and the 50s color superstars. I remember working that day. It was, excuse me. It was literally all day. And we obviously didn't get all 50 colors because it was spread out through stores in the country, right? But every single day, people were like, man, like these, I need these. Like you got these. It was just nonstop, right? But I loved it. It was fun working retail that way because I can really say that I was part of one of the biggest things in sneaker history ever.
For sure.
And in a way, you could connect with the product that was being sold.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was kind of just like, and it was funny because sometimes you would be right next to the product, like let's say the Turtle Doves or like the Pirate Blacks or something like that. You would be right next to it, like handling it, but you wouldn't get a pair. I feel like that used to blow the fuck out of me back when like the first releases of the Yeezys were dropping.
We're not even gonna get into that holding like extra pairs or whatnot because that's some other shit that it can take forever.
Nah,
right?
but I feel like once the V2s came out, like that's when like if you worked the release, you would get a pair because like they were, like, a lot of people weren't picking up their pairs anymore. So
that wasn't really that's true.
It was like literally once the V2s came out because like when the Turtle Doves and the Pirate Blacks and like the Oxford Tans came out, like you weren't getting them because everyone was picking them up. But once the V2s came out, like everyone who worked the release was getting their pairs.
And it's funny because when the so obviously the OG fours, the 350 V1s, all those were going for crazy ass prices, like fucking thousands. Sometimes like even the Turtle Doves reached like 2000s at a point.
At a point, yeah.
Yeah, and then it was the Beluga 2.0. And everybody was like kind of hyped about it, but then once those 3 stripe ones, so it was the
Black Friday,
the Black Friday pack. So it was the olive, the tan, and the red and the red stripe, and everybody was selling them for like 300-400 because they're like, oh, like there's so many that it's crazy. Like it's 3 colors and it's just like a big ass release. So everybody's like, okay, bro, the red stripe right now is probably like over 1,000.
No, yeah,
like,
those are probably like the most exclusive pairs.
Yeah.
I own that. I own the red stripe.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, because I had the red stripe, I sold it for like 400, and then years later, it's worth like over 1,000 and shit. It's crazy as fuck. It was definitely crazy, but I feel like once the Beluga 2.0 came out for the 350 V2s, that's when it was like, okay, like y'all can have them shits. Like I'm not standing in line no more. Like I'm not entering no raffles no more.
Right.
Like the Adidas confirmed that. I don't even think was a thing anymore. It was kind of just like the normal like Adidas app. Like you go on there, you participate, and then like you could get a pair.
Yeah.
So I would say us, like in our era right now, like reselling is like something that we're like, it's nothing new. But to you, Pedro, like once I think when you were growing up, that wasn't really like a thing. And now that you hear of it, like what's your thought on like reselling? Like, do you think it's like people making their money, or do you think it's like messing up the culture?
Honestly, bro, at the end of the day, make your money however you want, right? Like, I'm not gonna get mad at somebody that has a plug and I don't. Like,
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
you know, obviously, they did what they had to do. They made that friendship. if they get looked out for, then cool. If not, well then fuck it. I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm not gonna be mad over a pair of shoes that I can't get. But
Right.
reselling, I mean, it's like anything, man. It's part of the whole process, part of the game, basically, right? Obviously, I've paid resale before on a pair of shoes that I really wanted, but then I ended up making my money back regardless. But I don't necessarily think it ruined everything. I just think people gotta be quicker and step the game up a little bit if you really want something, right? So.
Right.
I just feel like it's just someone's hustle, you know. Like you can't hate on that shit. Like someone makes a living off like reselling shoes. So there's no reason for you to hate on that shit.
Nah, you can't. You definitely can't hate on it. And I feel like yeah, like the whole resale thing, like it's obviously a lot more. You see a lot more now just because everybody has like all the bots and shit. And
Right.
I remember by like, bro, the 20th V2 that came out, people were still asking like, oh, how do I get a pair? Like, how do I get a pair? Like, bro, if you're not if you're not informed by now, like, just stop.
And
bro.
honestly, if you can't get a pair, especially if they were selling like at DTLR,
Yeah.
at Champs,
Yeah,
at
you
Foot
were on
Locker,
something.
Foot Action, then your ass don't deserve the shoe because you can't even win it at there. So
Exactly.
Do you guys think it's fair? Because like the old heads used to wait in line for hours, like before the store opened to get a pair, and now it's just like you can buy an expensive ass bot, and you can be at your house, wake up 5 minutes before the drop, and you can get that shit. You get multiple pairs.
like I'm pretty sure that experience was pretty dope. But at the end of the day, it's like basketball, for example, right? Like the 90s, the 80s was a whole different era of
Than-
what it
than
is
it is
now,
now,
right?
right? Yeah.
But we're not gonna get into that right now. So it's just it's it's part of the new wave, you know? Like,
Yeah.
and there's some old heads who don't really fuck with it, but I guess they can appreciate it somehow.
Right.
And then there's the old heads who are still partaking in it, and they're like, fuck it, I'm gonna get my money however I can.
Exactly.
You know? So it's, I don't know, man. Like, it you don't have to be a fan of it, but I guess respect it a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely a hustle. People make a fucking living out of that shit. Like, I know people that cop like 30, 40 pairs, and then, bro, they make a living out of that, you know? Like, and they're living well. Like, it's not just like, oh, like, I'm keeping up with my bills. Like, nah, like, motherfuckers are eating.
No, you guys remember that big ass like Pharrell drop that like New York canceled all their pairs, so like they sent
They
all
sent them
the,
over here?
They sent
Yep.
all
Yeah,
the
I
pairs to
remember
us.
that,
So people from New York were flying in to get these pairs because that's how like
Yeah.
crazy like they depend on these shoes to
I
make
mean,
their money.
I feel like another like instance where we got the old like experience of like, oh, like maybe camping out for shoes and shit was All-Star Weekend for 2020.
Man.
That
That was a time that brought back the memories of what it was like.
Shit,
loving
man.
sneakers.
Honestly, like I was like
etc.
I was obviously at work working All-Star Weekend, and I'm like, man, do I wish I could work another release? Because that's like I was watching all the videos. I'm like, bro, that's dope as fuck. Like I would love to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, speaking of All-Star Weekend, another a crazy year for sneakers, even crazy month for sneakers at that
Yeah,
time.
crazy
right?
month for sure.
And I think it was just cool how like Kanye and just the Yeezy brand came down Milwaukee and
The fucking tanks.
trading sneakers off people's feet for
Yeah.
fucking quantums and shit.
Motherfuckers are trading Fear Gods for quantums.
The yellow, yeah.
And I'll be honest, at first I didn't fuck with the model, but now I ended up getting a pair because they're comfortable as hell and they actually look pretty good. So,
Or even like Joe had a whole ass line outside of his store.
and I'm
For
not,
New Balances.
and I'm not gonna cap. After that, I wanted that pair,
Right.
but I was not about to wait in -2 degrees, right?
It was cold. Yeah,
So-
that's the thing. Like, it was so crazy, and people were still out. Even when they were doing like those release drops, those surprise drops with the app, like the sneakers pass and all. Bro, when I went to go pick up a pair of the reverse bread, the 85s, there was like a line of people just like waiting, just in case there was like leftover pairs. But it wasn't like, oh, like 3-4 people, bro. It was like 100 people, because people were flying in from everywhere, from LA, from New York, from fucking Florida, like everywhere.
And I'm pretty sure people were upset because
Oh, hell yeah.
I heard the stories at Adidas with all these guys from New York and shit. Like that, it's part of the game,
Exactly,
right? It's
yeah.
part of the game.
And just like Pedro said, it's like you kind of feel like, damn, like I want to work a release again, because like at that time, like all the people that were waiting to get a pair, they're like, damn, like those employees are probably like plugged the fuck up, like they're getting a pair for sure, and it's just like
Yeah,
you just,
little
you
did you
just
know.
get like a little feeling like I am, but I'm gonna keep that to the side.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say shit.
No, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna say too much.
no,
You
of
can
course.
wait in
Like,
the
it
cold.
was fun interacting with people. Like, again, that's how I met some of the people that I still fuck with to this day, right? Because through sneakers, one little object can make a lot of things happen, right? So, but yeah, I do miss working the releases sometimes. Like, I do miss chopping it up with people in line, and you hear the shit like, oh, you got your pair to the side already, don't you? Like, no, I wish, bro. Like, I wish. And then the cool thing would be, you see the motherfuckers flexing, bro. Like, I saw a pair of Red Octobers in the store one day. I'm like, damn, like that's
People would bring their heat on
Yes.
release day, bro,
Oh,
yes.
definitely, bro.
Oh yeah.
to pick up their pairs and everything, or like even when we like were outside of Water Tower waiting for the triple black Ultra Boost, like motherfuckers are about to fight, bro. It's like it's over at Ultra Boost, which is so crazy to think now because they literally just restocked maybe a month ago.
I got them for $90. Fuck you talking about?
And motherfuckers were waiting in line. And we worked there and we were waiting in line. Like that shit was so wild. And then you had to get through security at first, and we're like, oh, like we work here. Like, oh, let me see your ID, and you show them your little ID, your little Adidas ID, and just go up there. And everybody was like mad as fuck. Like, oh, how'd y'all get up here and shit? It's like, hey, they just let us in. They said we were cool.
Yeah, man. Honestly, like for me, if a brand is gonna execute a product like that, why not have it on everybody's foot, especially the people who work for you? That's why you have like little ass stores. Like I'm pretty sure like Ronnie and Kith, right? He plugs all his people up because he wants people to know what the hell's coming out. And if you gone to the store, you see some only Kith exclusive shit that only they'll have, and it's like, damn, like that's fucking love.
It's honestly because like they're brand ambassadors, so like they're the ones they're working for the company, but they're the ones who should be promoting this shit because they're the ones.
Exactly.
I feel like in our case, I feel like it was too corporate to do that. You know, like it was way too corporate where it was like, oh no, like it's not fair for people that enter like raffles and all that can't get a pair. But it's like, that's why the fuck am I here? You know, like what I was talking about earlier, how I was putting up the product on shelves and I was like on the app too trying to get a pair. It didn't hit, but like I just put all this shit up, so it's like just confusing, you know.
The only time they ever did that was the fucking, what's that one? The Alpha Boost, remember?
Oh yeah.
And your mans wore that shit every day.
No comment. No comment. His ass was fucking. They had that little circle. He was like in and out the circle and shit, bro. That shit kills
See,
me.
but my thing is, they can do it for that shoe, but they couldn't do it for the Ultra Boost, which is probably it was the hottest shoe one of these last years, right?
That's what started the whole hype for Adidas. Honestly, once he saw Kanye wearing it, like it was over for them.
With his little Ivan jump,
Yes, sir.
for sure.
But
Crazy
like
ass
going
era.
back to like the brand ambassador, I feel like there's like a good way to go about it and like a kind of like a not so good. It's like if you have your employee wearing like Adidas head to toe, it just kind of like you're gonna walk in the store and be like, it's a whack ass fit. Whereas like if you have them wearing whatever they want and then they have the Adidas shoe and like like they're showing like what they like the brands that they like, and then like pairing it up with the shoe, it's just like okay, like I can see where they're going with this. Like I'm interested in this shoe.
Yeah,
Something
there
like
was
that.
also so many goofy people winning shoes, bro. Like that shit would be the part to blow me. Cause like, how the fuck we lose to this man, G? Like blue, super fucking blue, and they would just go in there like, yeah, like I got the shoe, like flexing and shit. Like, all right, bro, like we all got our pair on the side. Like I'm not gonna say shit, but like we already got our pair to the side. You ain't flexing on
Or
nobody.
the little ass kids that would come in and be like, I'm here for my shoe. Where's your parent? You sit, and then they try to argue with you and shit. Oh, here we
You
go.
gotta have somebody 18 or older or something
Yeah,
like that. It's like,
so-
oh, you can't get your shoes. So
Oh
like,
man, good.
hey, and then you hit him with the what size was it? It's like, all right, that's my size. I got my shit on lock. This shit was the best, man.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Like I said before, it was fun working with everybody there. Like just the friendships that we made and still have to this day. So
For sure.
Hey, but fun don't pay the bills, man. Fun don't pay
true,
the bills.
Fact,
true.
yo.
What would you say, like, a grail of yours? Let's say, like, top 3 grails that you don't have.
Man, now that I know more about shoes, the Thunder 4 is definitely one of those shoes
Soon to come.
that I want. And I don't want this new 2020. I want the first one.
Same,
right?
but you gotta go through the fucking hassle of getting a soul swap, which I hate. Like that whole process.
That pair. There's a lot of shoes, right? Like I always think like, damn, like what if I went sneaker shopping one day? Like what would I buy, right? Like what would I take off the shelf? And I don't know. I think there's so many shoes to choose from. There's so many shoes that look good, so many shoes that feel great and comfortable, and I don't know. I think my next one will probably be the UNC one, Jordan 1. I love the colorway. I love the story that it has behind it. And probably a pair of like 94 Bred 1s.
94. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'd go with that Union black toe. I need that.
What else? Top 3. Top
Union
3.
black toe. Shit. Both the Unions, Union 1s. What are you talking about?
The other exclusive and the black toe.
Hell yeah.
And if you had a third pair?
And then probably the off-white Presto. The first one, the OG.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yes, that's an amazing one. I remember I was working at Adidas when the 10 dropped, and
I was there with you that day, bro. We were all in the fucking bathroom trying to get that shit, bro.
I'm like, someone's about to walk in, and be like, what the hell's going
I
on?
swear to God,
Like
bro.
Virgil's dropping his shit.
Fuck the job at that point. I'm trying to get
No cap.
Presto.
Yeah, I hit on the original Air Max when they first came. Like
The 97?
Yeah, no. I mean the Vapor Max. Yeah, I hit off that.
Oh,
shit.
okay.
But I sold that shit for like $600-700.
It's crazy how much the 10 is going for now.
I tweaked that.
I got the Blazer for like $650, and last sale right now is like fucking $2K. Which is ridiculous.
Wow.
What's your top 3 grill that
I'll
you
definitely
would
say I need, and I feel like everyone needs a Bred 1. You know, fucking brand new, be old. Like you can never go wrong. You can throw that shit on with anything. An older Bred 4. I have the new one, but I want an old cracked one. I want it to look fucked up, and I want to wear it with whatever the fuck, a fucking flannel.
fucking flannel.
At the apartment.
Oh, that, yo, on stage, my shit crumbling, but this.
I'm still the flyest motherfucker here.
Talking about, bro.
3.
What else? I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm pretty cool with those right now. That's all I'm looking for.
If I were to pick 3, I'd pick.
Like he don't got shit.
Chill the fuck out.
Like this man don't got
Bro,
everything.
you already got the 3. Fuck.
The first question is like, what the fuck don't you have, bro? Because you have.
Let me
every
pick.
fucking
All
shit.
right, let me pick the 3 I don't have. The top 3. All right. So I would do Lightning Force, which hopefully release again, so I could get a pair that I don't have to fucking soul swap.
Cool.
Chicago 85s, and
Okay. It's tough. I feel like you always got the top 2 right there in your head. But the
yeah,
third one is tough.
the third one I would probably do. It'd probably have to be maybe a Kobe.
I can see that.
R.I.P.
Barcelona.
Oh,
Barcelona.
Which colorway? The homely or away?
The way. I do the way.
That like that pink mango color. Yeah, that's nice.
I do the way.
That's really nice.
That would be my top 3 for sure.
You don't hoop though.
I don't.
So don't worry,
I
them
don't
bitches, bro.
fucking
Put them in a display case for us.
I'm about to put all my shoes in the display case. They're all hooping shoes. I don't hoop.
So I have a question for you 3. Obviously, we've all worked together and we've seen many releases. We've seen so many sneakers within the span of like 5-6 years. I just want to know, what shoe was the one that really got you into loving sneakers and appreciating sneakers for what they are? And yeah, that's my question.
For me, it was probably like the Jordan 6, the Oreo one. I would be on eBay like every day looking for my like size 8.5, 9. Just bidding and trying to outbid people so I could get that pair. But honestly, now that I think of it, like the first shoe I actually bought, was the top 3 Jordan 1 from Boneyard. I bought it for like $275. Like they gave me like a good deal.
Good price.
That's a
Good
steal.
price.
now.
Shout out for Boneyard for that. But that's honestly the first shoe I ever bought that like got me into the sneaker game and shit.
For me, like I've said before, I would say the Stan Smith Raf Simmons. I remember seeing it at St. Alfred. That shit was way out of my price range. Thought I was never gonna have it. 3 years later, I ended up getting it.
For the half off?
For the half off, the low price. But yeah, so I got that one. And then like back in the day, I remember I won a St. Alfred raffle. It was for the all white Yeezy, like before it released the second time when it was like fucking mass produced. But I remember that was like exciting, and I was like, fuck, I finally got a pair of Yeezys. But yeah, it was like those 2 times were pretty dope for me. Got me into the game.
No, they're going for what? Less than retail and shit? The white ones?
Bro.
It's crazy.
Not easy.
Shit, I
bro.
gave Femi my pair of white Yeezys that I won. Well, not that I won, but
Was it like the first time or like
the first time that we went
time?
to release it at the water tower. I let him have them. I'm like, what size do you need? And he's like, I want them. And I was like, all right, you got
They
it.
released that bitch like the superstar.
I swear to God, yo.
Shit.
Yeah, we got so many returns, bro. We had like at least like 70 pairs in our stock room of just white Yeezys.
Some of them dirty as hell too.
Oh,
No cap.
y'all
Everybody
bogus.
grabbing them and shit.
They wore them bitches for a fit pic.
Took them right off. Like, I'm not buying them. I just want to see what they feel like.
I'm not losing money. Go ahead, return
Yeah,
them.
right. I don't give a fuck.
Fucks, yo.
So for me, I feel like the shoe that got me into kind of like the whole sneaker thing is my mom bought me the Forest Green 14s.
Amazing shoe.
Yeah, for
They
sure.
definitely need to bring that one back.
That one, and low-key, I just got it like restored. I got it repainted, and then like the sole was separating already. It's from 06, so it's like all that
bound
shoe.
to happen.
And then also like the Air Force One for sure, because I remember I was trying to get like pairs that kind of like looked alike. They weren't like fakes. They were like still Nike, but they were like the downgrade. You know, like I remember back then like SBs were like a downgrade to it. Back when that was like 4th grade, I think, because one of my like classmates had a pair, and I got like an SB, and I was like, oh, like this is probably the closest I'm gonna get to it. And I told the story before on here that like I got a pair and I only wore it like once. But I've had that shoe for like 3-4 years already. I've only worn it once, but I just have it there, you know, just to say like I got it. Like that's pretty much it.
No, that's dope. I love the fact that we can use sneakers as like nostalgic purposes and just bring you back to like a simpler time, and definitely love
Nostalgic for sure.
I just think it's dope how like shit that wasn't popping before, like when like during Pedro's time is like now popping out, like SBs for example. is, like,
100%.
That's the shit that's like popping right now. That's the shit that everybody wants right now. So I just feel like that's pretty dope, honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't know shit about SBs. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't know nothing about like nothing like that, right?
Yeah.
I just knew about what was in stores and on the shelves. Nothing exclusive. So I think that's pretty cool that now I can learn about it, right? Back then I didn't know anything about it, but now it's like, oh, okay. So that's what was around my time. That's pretty cool, right? So
Yeah, and I think people forget that SB is a skate shoe, and like a lot of people forget that. Like now, it's used to like put on fits with, but it was made for people to skateboard in. So
you got a pair of those Michigan ones, right?
I got a pair of the Michigans, and I got a pair of Purple Lobsters.
But can you kickflip though?
I definitely can. Pop a little ollie.
Ali for the boys.
Alright.
Nah, that's a whole different era, man. Past and present now, but yeah, man. Thank you for coming, Pedro. We appreciate
man.
you coming on here.
Thank you for
And
taking some time to speak to us, bro.
for sure, even though we speak every day and shit, but just to have you on here and like talk about shit that we don't normally talk about is dope. Appreciate you.
No, it's definitely fun, man. It's nice to, like I said before, it's nice to see you three get together and just come together and make something, right? Like you said before, people are scared to be put on a platform because they're just simply scared. But definitely proud of you guys. It's so dope. Like I feel like this helps a lot of people, right? Like it helps that people don't really have anywhere to really speak on how they feel about certain things,
Right.
or they can't go to anybody, right? So I feel like whoever's listening, start a podcast. You may just like people might watch you on live and you be like, look, ask questions, we can talk about whatever, right? I think it's just a dope concept, right? So thank you guys for definitely having me. Like I said, definitely proud of you guys, and I cannot wait to see what this brings. So
Definitely, we're gonna have a lot of the homies on here, a lot of creatives, a lot of people starting their own brands. We're gonna have a bunch of people on here. There's more to come. So definitely follow Pedro on Instagram.
Life with
And
Dro,
Life with Dro. Life with Dro. Just a W. No ITH. Definitely follow us on Instagram at the Three-Peat Podcast.
Podcast.
Hit us a little follow. And yeah, we're getting close to Thanksgiving, and we're also getting close to Christmas. So I know we got a little giveaway coming up soon. So definitely stay tuned for that.
It's a pair of Oscar shoes.
Hey yo.
Hey, nah, chill.
If you're in size 10.5 to 11, you'll be lucky, all right? You'll be lucky. You're gonna get something coming your way.
It's definitely gonna be a good pair of shoes though that we're gonna give away for the holidays. So stay in tuned for that. Follow the Instagram page, and there'll be more info for that. So
Yes, sir.
close this up, Oscar.
And just something real quick. Obviously, you guys know that we record at 2048. Just to let you guys know, they are back to normal hours.
Regular
you don't
hours,
have to
yeah.
do an appointment
No
anymore.
appointments anymore. No, you can just walk in here.
So, and actually yesterday they just did some dope. It was kind of like an activation for somebody.
It was a little pop up, yeah.
Yeah, a little pop up. Super dope. So come check it out, man. There's always fire stuff here. Always. And
Always, and it's all from Chicago.
All
from
from
people that are in
Chicago.
this city. So
So,
definitely
pull up, guys, and we'll see you on the next episode.
let them know that Three-Peat sent you.
Yes, sir.
Peace out, everybody.
Peace.
Peace out.